preseason's winding down to the final stages, and we've seen Global and Loyola in the final. We just got word that the Archers beat Nomads 1-0 in the third place playoff, courtesy of Villarreal. Iko, tell us about how it's gone so far.
For Global, it was an easy ride for them en route to the final. However, with the drama off the pitch, things got overturned, and let's leave that for later. For Loyola, also had an easy group, although they had to they had to weather the challenge because there was this one game that they played 2 games how can I say this, consecutively. Although the one that played here in Manila was the B team.
Yeah.
They won against Nomads last Sunday, 2-0. I think this is probably a great curtain raiser for the UFL Cup, considering that these are the 2 teams that on paper are the strongest.
Yeah, the whole purpose of the preseason was so that teams could see how things work, experiment a little bit. It's not too competitive. Yabs, give us your opinion, and do you think it's worked in that respect?
I mean the arrangement, the preseason. I think it's supposed to be a build-up for the league. So I think it's supposed to do its job as showcasing the new talents that each team got, like new players that they got and the chemistry within the team. And I think it's the perfect avenue for fans and for supporters to see how good their teams would fare in the league. So, yeah.
And looking at the group stages, it was nice to see that the under-23 Ascals played. But in the end, they didn't make it from the group stage because they didn't play against the Army. Navy, sorry. Their result there was they didn't play, so they defaulted that way. It would have been interesting to see if that had played and gone through. But it's been good to see the different players come out and play with that. Iko, for you, has the preseason fulfilled its purpose?
Yeah, I think so. Although expected there are some games that were lopsided, understandably, because it was first division against second division. But I think it done its part in preparation for the cup in the league.
And for you, Naomi, we were talking about the preseason with all the teams and different players coming in. How does it compare to, for example, games beforehand? Are there better players now than there were before? The standard of Philippine football.
Oh yeah, that's got better. There's more better players now, more better players. Because they've got more foreign players in, but they've also got more local players, I think, now than before.
So more players, excellent. yeah, absolutely. Football's becoming better known, and because of that, the standard's going up all the time. So that's really good to see. I mean, you mentioned with some of the lopsided results, but for example, Forza did really well as a second division team. In that group with Stali and Kaya and the under-23s, they got some good results in there, and that was very respectable. It'll be good to see them in the UFL Cup, how they do. So, any predictions for Global Loyola in the final? There's word about the will it happen? Tell us about what the controversy is there.
Well, it's not really a controversy, but concern is that the players already flew to Bacolod for the Peace Cup.
Yeah.
Knowing Loyola, they still have a team to play against Global, but for Global side, since they have around 8 players participating in the national team, and with injuries and suspensions in the team, it might affect them and might even not play at all.
Yeah, I think they had 3 or 4 subs in the Singapore Cup, and also the game against, the previous game against the Archers, which they narrowly won there. So if 8 players have gone, out of 14, 15 players, they've only got 6 or 7 left. Technically speaking, you're allowed to play if you have 7 players on the pitch. Any less than that and you get forfeited. Could we see Global playing with any fewer than 11 players, or would they just not walk onto the pitch, do you think?
That we don't know. That'll be Coach Brian's decision, and knowing him, it's always up to the challenge.
Okay, and Loyola as well are missing some players. Could the UFL, just as a compromise, make the final 7 aside?
That depends on them. We have to contact the UFL.
Or even 5-a-side. Play a 5-a-side tournament, and then both teams would have substitutes. I think it'd be an interesting conclusion to the tournament there. But how's it been as a prelude to the UFL Cup?
It's alright. You know that the teams already beef up. Now we saw their quality already in preseason. Now let's wait and see how they perform in the cup completely.
And for you, Yabs, who's just been the biggest surprise, perhaps, whether that's a good surprise or a bad surprise within the tournament on the pitch?
There's not much surprise for the teams that are advancing to the finals.
Okay.
Maybe if things work out for global, maybe that would be the surprise. Maybe.
And for you, Iko?
Global as well, considering their rough ride in the preseason, the drama.
Naomi, any surprises you think from the preseason? Who did well, who didn't for you?
That is a question I'm unable to answer.
Okay, for me at least, it's interesting to see how Stallion have responded to losing 17 of their players, hammered by Nomads 5-1, but then they rebounded against the Archers 3-1. So it's interesting to see how they're going to do defending their UFL Cup titles and the league titles.
Yeah.
But also the Archers have been very strong. I think I said this before, but they played very well against Global, and if anyone would have won it, they had better chances to do it. They just weren't clinical in front of goal. So they're going to be a team to watch out for, I think, in the Cup and the league. So it's going to be good to see, and it's nice to see the balance as well. Everyone's looking at Global and Loyola, but they didn't hammer the rest of the teams in the first division. So it's going to be good to see who's up there as well. So it's going to be a good cup. I think every year we say that it's the best cup that's going to be the best edition of the UFL tournament so far. As long as off the pitch things don't get in the way. Anyway, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. That's all we're going with that. So we'll give you all the updates on that, what happens, the extension of the schedules because of the Peace Cup, everything that's going on there. Follow us at FTW Sports.